Alright, let's talk about generative AI. Imagine you have a super smart intern. An intern that never sleeps, never asks for a raise, can write anything, and email to your boss. A full-blown software program in seconds. That's generative AI. Not a scary, laser-eyed robot from the movies trying to steal your job and your dog. It's a tool. A very, very powerful tool. It creates new things. Text, images, code, and more, based on massive amounts of information it has learned. Like a student who's read the entire internet and is ready to answer any question. Everyone, from your tech-savvy nephew to your CEO, is talking about it because it actually works. This isn't a far-off promise of flying cars. This technology is here today, 2025-10-19, and already making a huge impact. Companies using it are seeing wild results. A recent study, for every hour someone uses generative AI to help with tasks, productivity can jump by 33%. Think about that. That's like getting an extra day and a half of work each week without extra hours. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This powerful new intern is a little wild. It doesn't always get things right. Sometimes it makes stuff up. Sometimes it shares secrets it shouldn't. So the mission for every leader, every manager, every employee is crystal clear. Figure out how to use this tool without burning the house down. The mandate, use it, but use it with care. Like being handed the keys to a ridiculously fast sports car. You can have the ride of your life, or end up in a ditch. The difference is how carefully you learn to drive it. This isn't a debate about whether to use AI. That ship has sailed, circled the globe, and is now docking in every industry. The real conversation? How we use it. How do we get that 33% productivity gain without creating a mess of new problems? It requires a plan. It requires rules. It requires us to be smart, thoughtful, and maybe a little bit skeptical. We need a blueprint, or a simple guide to navigate this new world. Companies that get it right will leapfrog their competition. Those that ignore it or use it recklessly will be left wondering what just happened. Section 2, the triple threat. How AI is already changing the game. So where is this AI magic actually happening? It's not just one place, it's everywhere. But let's focus on 3 areas where it's already making a massive difference. Software development, customer service, administrative work. Writing code can be a slow, painful process. It's like trying to write a novel where one misplaced comma breaks everything. Now, developers have AI assistants that can look at their work, spot errors, suggest better ways to write code, write entire chunks of the program for them. For example, a developer can just type, create a login page with a username and password field. Boom. The AI spits out the basic code, like a senior developer looking over your shoulder 24/7. Next, customer service. We've all been stuck on hold. Generative AI powers chatbots that are actually helpful. They can understand plain language, access your account history, and give a personalized, intelligent answer instantly. Imagine needing to change a flight. Instead of navigating a confusing site, you type, move my flight to New York from tomorrow to Wednesday. The AI bot understands, checks seats and price differences, and confirms the change with you. It's faster for customers and frees human agents for complex cases. Finally, administrative work, the unsung hero, summarizing long meetings, drafting routine emails, organizing notes, filling out forms. It's the corporate equivalent of doing the dishes. AI is the new dishwasher. This frees up time and mental energy to focus on work that needs a human brain, creative thinking and strategy, benefits, speed, tasks that used to take hours now take minutes, personalization and quality. The AI can tailor output to a specific customer or project. Time may be the most important. It gives people back their time. Time to think, time to create, time to solve bigger problems. This is where the real value lies, not just doing the same things faster, freeing humans to do new, more valuable things. Section 3, the big number, 33% faster. But what does that really mean? Let's circle back to that big flashy number. 33% more productivity per hour of use. It sounds great, like something a marketing team would dream up. But what does it actually mean for a real business, for a real person sitting at their desk every day? It's not just about working faster. It's about fundamentally changing the equation of what can be accomplished in a workday. Imagine a team of 10 people. A 33% boost in their productive output is like hiring 3 extra people for free. People who don't need a desk, people who don't take coffee breaks, people perfectly happy to do the most repetitive parts of the job. This isn't just about cranking out more widgets or sending more emails. The real benefit is in the quality and complexity of the work people can now tackle. When you save hours on the mundane stuff, you suddenly have time for the what-if projects. The software developer who used to spend half their day debugging code can now spend that time experimenting with a new feature. The marketing team that spent days analyzing data can now get insights in minutes, allowing them to spend their time brainstorming more creative campaigns. Let's break it down further. The 33% gain doesn't come from pushing people to work harder. It comes from removing friction. Think of all the little pauses in your day, the 10 minutes finding the right words for an email, the half hour hunting a line in a long report, the hour stuck on a single line of code. Generative AI smooths over these friction points. It's like paving a bumpy dirt road. The destination is the same, but the journey becomes dramatically faster and more efficient, leaving you with more fuel in the tank when you arrive. So when leaders see that 33% figure, they shouldn't just think cost savings. They should think capability expansion. It means their existing teams can now aim higher and achieve more. It's a force multiplier for human talent. The goal isn't to replace people with AI. It's to partner people with AI, creating a hybrid team that can outperform what either humans or AI could do alone. Section 4. Risk number 1, the rise of Workslop. Now for the not-so-fun part. With great power comes great potential to mess things up spectacularly. The first major risk is something we can call Workslop. Because generative AI is so fast and so easy to use, it can lead to a flood of low-quality, generic, and sometimes just plain wrong output. Think of it like a fast food chain for corporate content. It's quick, it fills a space, but it lacks substance and is often not very good for you. If everyone starts using AI to write their reports, emails, presentations without thinking, we risk drowning in a sea of mediocre, soulless content. The danger of Workslop is that it looks plausible at first glance. The grammar is usually perfect. The sentences are well structured. It has the shape of good work. But when you look closer, you realize it's all surface and no depth. The AI might have summarized a report but missed the crucial nuance in the conclusion. It might have written a marketing email that sounds friendly but completely misses the brand's unique voice. This creates a new burden for managers and colleagues, the task of sifting through this mountain of passable but not great work to find what's actually useful and accurate. It can waste more time than it saves. One of the biggest culprits behind Workslop is what the experts call hallucinations. This is a fancy way of saying the AI just makes stuff up. It will state a fact with complete and utter confidence, even if that fact is entirely fictional. It might invent a historical event, cite a non-existent study, create a fake quote. If an employee blindly copies and pastes this into a report for a client, presentation for the board, the consequences can range from embarrassing to catastrophic. It undermines trust, damages reputations, leads to terrible decisions based on false information. Correcting these AI-generated lies can be a painful and public process. So while the promise is to save time, the reality can be the opposite. The temptation to just accept the first draft the AI gives you is strong. But But true professionals will have to learn a new skill, being a ruthless editor of AI-generated content. You can't just be a user, you have to be a critic. You have to question everything it produces. Is this accurate? Is this in our company's voice? Is this actually helpful? Is it just filling the page with generic fluff? Without this critical oversight, the 33% productivity gain can quickly be eaten up by the time spent cleaning up the low-quality mess that Workslop creates. The second major risk is a big one, and it keeps Chief Information Security officers up at night. It's the risk of your sensitive data taking a little trip outside the company and never coming back. Think about how these public AI models, like the ones you can use for free online, work. They learn from the data they are given. When your employees talk to these tools, they might paste confidential info to get help. A piece of secret source code, a list of customer complaints, the draft of a sensitive financial report. Here's the problem. Once you put that information into a public AI model, you have no idea where it goes. It's like shouting your company's secrets into a microphone in the middle of a crowded stadium. That data could be used to train the next version of the model. It could be seen by the AI company's employees. It could surface in an answer given to another user, maybe even your direct competitor. The terms of service for many of these tools are clear. What you put in, they can keep. This creates a massive intellectual property and data privacy nightmare. It's not just about trade secrets, customer data, employee information, anything that falls under privacy regulations like GDPR or CCPA. If an employee uses an AI tool to summarize customer feedback and pastes in names, email addresses, personal complaints, your company could be in breach of data protection laws. The fines for this kind of leak are no joke, and the damage to your company's reputation can be even worse. Customers trust you to keep their information safe. Using an insecure AI tool is like leaving their file cabinets unlocked on the sidewalk. This is why the source of your AI matters. Using a public consumer-grade model for serious business is like using a social media DM for official legal correspondence. It's the wrong tool for the job. The risk of an accidental leak is simply too high. Every employee needs to understand that pasting internal data into a public AI chatbot is a major security risk. Without clear rules and secure private alternatives, you are essentially hoping employees won't make a disastrous mistake, and hope is not a strategy. The third big risk is a bit more subtle, but it's just as dangerous. It's the problem of bias. Generative AI models learn from the internet. And what's on the internet? Well, everything. All of human knowledge, creativity, and wisdom is on there. But so is all of our junk. All of our prejudices, stereotypes, and unfair assumptions are there too. The AI learns from all of it, the good and the bad. As a result, the AI's output can reflect and even amplify the biases found in its training data. It can produce content that is sexist, racist, or discriminatory in other ways. This isn't a theoretical problem. We've already seen it happen. AI models used for hiring have shown bias against female candidates because they were trained on historical data from a male-dominated industry. AI image generators, when asked to create a picture of a doctor or a CEO, have overwhelmingly produced images of white men. If your company uses AI to help write job descriptions, screen resumes, or even draft performance reviews, you could be accidentally embedding these biases directly into your core business processes. The danger is that bias from an AI can seem objective. It comes from a computer. After all, it feels like it's based on data, not on a person's prejudiced opinion. This makes it harder to spot and even harder to challenge. An AI-generated recommendation can carry a false sense of authority. If an AI system flags a certain demographic group as a higher risk for loan defaults, for example, it might be based on biased historical data, not on the actual creditworthiness of the individuals. Relying on this output without questioning it is a recipe for discriminatory practices that are both illegal and bad for business. Ultimately, your company is responsible for the output of the tools it uses. you can't blame the robot. If your AI-powered hiring tool systematically filters out qualified candidates from a certain background, that's your company's problem. The legal and financial fallout will land on your doorstep. This means you have to be incredibly careful about where and how you deploy AI, especially in sensitive areas like human resources, customer evaluation, and legal analysis. Blindly trusting the AI's judgment is an abdication of responsibility, and it's a risk that no smart company should be willing to take. So we have Workslop, data leaks, bias. It sounds pretty bad. Are we supposed to just unplug the AI and go back to doing things the slow way? Absolutely not. The benefits are too big to ignore. The key is not to ban the tool, but to build a fence around it. We need clear, simple fixes to manage these risks. The first and most important fix is strong governance, and it has to start at the top. The executive team needs to set the rules of the road. This means creating a clear policy that says when AI tools are approved, what data can and cannot be used with them, and what the expectations are for quality and review. The second fix is all about keeping a human in charge. This is the human-in-the-loop principle. No important or external-facing work created by an AI should ever go out the door without a real person reviewing it first. This is our defense against both workslop and bias. The human reviewer is the quality control checkpoint. They are there to fact-check the AI's output, to ensure it aligns with the company's voice and values, and to catch any subtle bias that the machine might have introduced. To solve the data leak problem, you need to control the plumbing. This means providing your employees with secure private AI tools. Instead of letting everyone use public web services, companies should invest in enterprise-grade solutions. These can be private models that run on your own secure cloud, ensuring that your confidential data never leaves your control. This is what's known as provenance, knowing where your AI comes from and where your data is going. By giving your team a safe and powerful alternative, you make it easy for them to do the right thing and dramatically reduce the risk of a catastrophic data leak. Finally, none of this works without training. You can't just hand people a powerful tool and a rule book and expect them to get it right. You need to actively retrain your staff. This isn't just about teaching them which buttons to press. It's about teaching them how to think differently. They need to learn how to write effective prompts to get good results from the AI. More importantly, they need to learn how to become critical editors of AI content. This training builds a culture of responsible AI use, where everyone understands both the incredible potential and the serious risks and knows how to navigate them safely. Just when you think you've got your head wrapped around generative AI, the next wave is already forming on the horizon. And this next wave is all about agentic AI, or what we can simply call AI agents. If the AI we have today is like a brilliant intern, you have to give specific instructions to for every single task. An AI agent is like a seasoned project manager you can give a high-level goal to. You don't tell it the steps, you just tell it the destination, and it figures out the journey on its own. Today, you might use AI to draft an email. With an AI agent, you would just say, "Plan my business trip to the conference in Berlin next month." The agent would then take over. It would access your calendar to find the dates, browse airline websites to find the best flights that fit your preferences, search for hotels near the conference venue, book the flight and hotel, add the itinerary to your calendar, and then send you a confirmation summary. It would perform a whole sequence of tasks across different applications, all without you having to guide it at each step. These agents will be able to read and write to your email, manage your schedule, access databases, and use other software tools on your behalf. They will act as true digital assistants, proactively managing your administrative and logistical burdens. The potential for productivity gains here is even greater than what we're seeing today. It's about automating not just the task, but the entire process surrounding the task. Of course, this also raises the stakes on all the risks we've already discussed. An AI agent with access to your email, calendar, and company databases is an incredibly powerful tool. It's also an incredibly dangerous one if it's not properly secured and governed. The need for robust governance, secure infrastructure, and human oversight becomes even more critical in a world of AI agents. Companies need to start planning for this now. The infrastructure to support these agents and the digital plumbing to connect systems securely. The agentic future is coming fast, and the time to prepare for it is yesterday. So, here we are in October 2025. Generative AI is not a hypothetical future, it's a present-day reality. It can deliver a massive 33% productivity boost, but it's also a tool loaded with risks, embarrassing Workslop, catastrophic data leaks, baked-in bias. Ignoring it is not an option. Using it recklessly is foolish. Use it smartly, use it safely, use it strategically. The call to action is a simple 3-step roadmap. First, set the rules immediately. Don't wait. Your employees are already using these tools with or without your permission. Establish executive-led governance now. Define which AI tools are approved. Define what data is off limits for public models. Require human review on important work. Provide a secure private AI platform for teams to innovate. It's not about restriction, it's about guardrails. Let teams move fast without falling off a cliff. This is the foundation for everything else. Second, don't boil the ocean. Start small and smart. Identify the teams that get the most value now. Software development, customer service, marketing, administrative support. Launch focused pilot programs with these teams. Give them the tools, give them the training, give them the freedom to experiment. Measure the results. See what works and what doesn't. Early wins deliver real ROI. They create internal champions and a rollout blueprint. Third, invest in your people and prepare for what's next. Your employees are your greatest asset. They need new skills. Teach prompt engineering. Teach critical AI editing. Build a culture of responsible innovation. Watch the future. AI agents are coming fast. Plan infrastructure and security to support them. Leaders who govern, pilot, and prepare will harness AI's power. Govern, pilot, prepare. The rest will be playing catch-up.